A reader writes into our Ask Frank feature and wants to know more about the Tea Party movement. The reader says, of those in the Tea Party, what is the breakdown of their political affiliations? The reader says, I know I have talked to many middle-of-the-road Dems who are in the closet Tea Partiers. The media portrays them all as extreme right Republicans. Well, my colleague Lydia Saad looked at some data on Tea Party supporters recently. Let's revisit those data and see what we find. The composition of those in America today who say they support the Tea Party is as follows. 49% identify as Republican, 43% as independent, and just 8% as Democrat. Now, that's clearly a skew away from Democrats of the total population. About a third or a little less typically are Democrat these days, and only 8% of Tea Party supporters are Democrats, so you can see the difference there. Republicans, well, that 49% I mentioned is certainly higher than the representation of Republicans in the general population. Same thing for independents. So although not all Tea Party supporters are Republican, it's clear in the data that Tea Party supporters do skew either Republican or independent. Relatively few of them are Democrats. And by the way, there is a skew as well towards conservatism as far as Tea Party supporters go, but there are quite a few moderates in that group as well. Now, this reader goes on to ask, since the media is always playing the race card, so they say, what is the black-white Hispanic ratio of Tea Party supporters? This reader, in fact, says that he or she was here in Washington up on the Hill and saw a lot of African Americans protesting the other day the health care reform bill. Well, we don't actually find a huge difference by race or ethnic origin in support for the Tea Party. You see the numbers there in front of you. 79% of Tea Party supporters are non-Hispanic white, but 75% of the overall population is non-Hispanic white, so there's very little difference there. 6% of Tea Party supporters told us they were black, and in our overall sample, that's about 11, so some difference there, but not huge. And Hispanic, well, 15% of Tea Party supporters are Hispanic, and that's about the percent we get in our overall sample. So we don't have a huge race skew in our sample. But, again, the bottom line is Tea Party supporters, this is not a great shock, do skew away from the Democratic Party. So there are not a lot of, as our reader asked, in-the-closet Democrats who are Tea Party supporters. Again, if you have a question you want to ask Frank, send it in to us. You see the email address right there in front of you. I'm Dr. Frank Newport, Gallup's Editor-in-Chief.